and just take up your place in the carriage of the teacher's train, and be aware of leaving behind all that you are not. So leaving behind the Hoover, the computer. Well, actually, you can't leave the computer behind because you're on it. But leaving behind all your tasks, leaving behind who you should be giving what for Christmas, let all that go. So Plotinus, the call for him is in this first reading. Then it was as if one voice sounded, one word was uttered, and from every side an ear attended and received, and there was an effective hearing, possessed through and through of what was present and active upon it. Now we seem to have lost that first simplicity. We are become the dual thing. Sometimes indeed no more than that later foisting with the primal nature, the absolute nature, dormant, and in a sense, no longer present. But often I reawaken from my body to myself. I come to be outside other things and inside myself. What an extraordinarily wonderful beauty I then see. It is then, above all, that I believe I belong to the greater portion. I then realize the best form of life. I become at one with the divine. But what must we do? How lies the path? How come to the vision of the inaccessible beauty, dwelling as if in consecrated precincts, apart from the common ways, where all may see, even the profane? He that has the strength, let him arise and withdraw into himself, foregoing all that is known by the eyes, turning away forever from the material beauty that once made his joy. Let us flee then to the beloved fatherland. This is the soundest counsel. But what is this flight? How are we to gain the open sea? The fatherland to us is there whence we have come, and there is the Father. What then is our course? What the manner of our flight? This is not a journey for the feet. The feet bring us only from land to land. nor need you think of coach or ship to carry you away. All this order of things you must set aside and refuse to see. You must close the eyes and call instead upon another vision, which is to be waked within you. A vision, the birthright of all, which few turn to use. And this inner vision, what is its operation? How are you to see into a virtuous soul and know its loveliness? Withdraw into yourself and look. And if you do not find yourself beautiful yet, act as does the creator of a statue that is to be made beautiful. He cuts away here, he smooths there, he makes this line lighter, this other purer, until a lovely face has grown upon his work. So do you also. Cut away all that is excessive, straighten all that is crooked, bring light to all that is overcast. Labor to make all one glow of beauty, and never cease chiseling your statue until there shall shine out on you from it the godlike splendor of virtue, until you shall see the perfect goodness surely established in the stainless shrine. When you know that you have become this perfect work, when you are self-gathered in the purity of your being, nothing now remaining can shatter that inner unity. Nothing from without clinging to the authentic, real you. When you find yourself wholly true to your essential nature. Holy, that only veritable light, which is not measured by space, nor narrowed to any circumscribed form, nor again diffused nor again diffused as a thing void of term, but ever unmeasurable. When you perceive that you have grown to this, you are now become very vision. Now, call up all your confidence. Strike forward. Yet a step. You need a guide no longer. Strain and see. This is the only eye that sees the mighty beauty. If the eye that adventures the vision be dimmed by vice, impure or weak, and unable in its cowardly blenching to see the uttermost brightness, then it sees nothing, even though another point to what lies plain to sight before it. To any vision must be brought an eye adapted to what is to be seen, and having some likeness to it. Never did I see the sun unless it had first become sunlike, and never can the soul have vision of the first beauty unless itself be beautiful. therefore, first, let each become godlike, and each beautiful, who cares to see God and beauty. So mounting, the soul will come first to the intellectual principle and survey all the beautiful ideas in the supreme, and will avow that this is beauty, that the ideas are beauty. For by their efficacy comes all beauty else, but the offspring and essence of the intellectual being. What is beyond the intellectual principle, we affirm to be the nature of good, radiating beauty before it, so that treating the cosmos as one, the first is the beautiful. If we make distinction there, the realm of ideas constitutes the beauty of that sphere, and the good, which lies beyond, is the fountain at once and principle of beauty. The first good and the first beauty have the one dwelling place, and thus always beauty's seat is there. So as he said, call up your confidence, strike forward yet a step. You need a guide no longer. Strain and see. So just allow yourself to be at one with yourself. And if there is anything within you which appears to be not beautiful, just put it on one side, knowing that you are beautiful.
Lincoln.
So I'm going to leave you now with a recording which I made last week of Aidan Hart, who's an iconographer, speaking about the function of beauty and the way it raises the soul. I know some of you can't stay perhaps beyond 11, but it's a 40 minute presentation. So I hope you enjoy it as much as I enjoyed it. I found it most clear. And then we will be back at 12:30 for an introduction to Claire Pincham, who spent many years in India and now divides her time between India and England, where she gives all that she ever learnt in India from her teacher, she gives fully to any who will hear. So I hope you will be able to join me for that. But in the meantime, for those who can stay and listen to it, here is Aidan Hart.
Sign now. I was quite surprised when I came that we can have all these modern gadgets here, so this talk can be recorded. I gave a talk to my group 2 days ago, and someone wanted to record it. Liz Higgins wanted to record it, but it didn't work very well. So